Well, ears don't deceive you. This is your friendly neighbourhood Discord mod. David, aka Big Swinging D. Welcome to this special Fluff and Hammer Warhammer preview chat. Really, we're just going to have a natter over the reveals from Texas. Yeah, Dallas. Joining me today are the Statler to my Waldorf, Darren, our other friendly mod.
Hello.
And in the background is the ever-reliable Mr. Adatum, aka
Hello.
Adam, aka the only man who's known Adam longer than anyone else in the Fluffhammer, I believe.
No. There are
No?
people that have known him far longer. Far longer. You can tell by the accumulation of scars and the real haunted appearance in their eyes.
Ah. That'll do it.
That said, I have got video of me interacting with him about 5 or 6 years ago, and we both look so innocent, even though it's only a couple of years ago. We look so innocent compared to what we are today.
Yeah, 5 years is such a long time ago now. But how are we both doing this evening, gentlemen? We all good?
Yeah, I'm managing to not melt in the unseasonal heat.
And I'm doing exactly the same, yeah.
Yeah, 20 degrees I think it was when I was out earlier on. Which is
See,
obnoxious for this time of year.
Typical British reaction as well. We're struggling like mad, and it's slightly above normal, but it's not too much above normal, but it's still too bad for us.
Well,
You
look.
say that it's 25 degrees in this room.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's... People at home, if you have any fans, can you waft them in the direction, please, of
Yeah.
Master Darren?
It's not pleasant.
I mean, we can take solace in the fact at least we're not the Beast of War crew. Those poor Irish bastards.
Well,
They struggle with anything over 15 degrees.
wow. Well, actually, that's me.
It's true.
I lived in Manchester for a couple of years, and whilst I was there, I lived in a place that did have heating, but it was the kind of really poor electric heating that never really serves any purpose. So I never had it on, and I went 2 years without heating the place once, and that's through obviously winters and snow, and I had floor-to-ceiling windows on one side, and it was still too warm. So yeah, this stuff is painful, but we'll get through it.
Yes. And of course, we all suffer from the fact our houses are built to retain the heat because, well, we're in northwestern Europe.
Lovely
Yeah.
stuff.
For what it's worth, Manchester does now have central heating. We only got it last year, but
I
Or the
love
whole
Manchester.
city. They just laid central heating under the roads.
yeah.
Flash buggers.
You say that, but we do actually have a shared heating system in the city centre.
Yeah.
It's just for the cultural quarter, as it's being known now. But yeah.
I am now envisaging Manchester with one of these, these Alaskan/Siberian boiler systems running from building to building. Just these pipes running between the roofs.
It's underground, but yeah, I kind of imagine that. I didn't even know what it was. I was at the pub in town one day and just spotted these chimneys next to a tram stop, and just like, bloody hell's that?
Oh,
Phone
yes.
out, Googled it. Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, the Deansgate Castlefield with
Yeah.
the big white one. Yeah, geothermal.
Yeah.
And it's right next to the block of flats that they're building through the middle of a car park.
Good old Manchester.
It's beautiful. Every time I pass it on the tram, because I used to live out by Exchange Key, like Salford Keys. And so obviously I'd go in via the Manchester. Sorry, people listening who are not familiar with Manchester, please bear with me. You won't understand any of this. But going past the old Manchester Central, and they've got a car park at the back, and it's multi-story. And yeah, one day they saw them knocking a hole through it. I thought, what are they doing? And yeah, they're building I think it's a residential block through the middle of this car park. So you imagine buying a place and go, this should be a good view. You open your curtains, you're in the middle of a car park.
Yeah, first thing in the morning, you open your curtains, some guys clapped out Ford Cortina.
It's beautiful stuff.
So what we all thinking today's going to be showing then?
Well, I wasn't too sure initially, but then they showed that silhouette off yesterday, and it's just like, oh, hello.
So there's AdMech. There's definitely AdMech.
Yep. It looks like we're getting a new. If it's a plastic Castellax walker, their super heavy walker, I am going to be so happy because I've always wanted the resin version of that. But if there's a plastic version coming, I will take that instead. Thank you very much.
So AdMech are the only range that's not been ported over to resin for Heresy, aren't they?
Well,
or partly ported.
Do you mean from resin to plastic?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they've got quite a nice range in resin, but they've not had anything really in plastic yet. So it's all using any of their plastics have been using kits from the 40k range.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I'd actually, the thing is, they have some really nice kits that would look cracking in plastic because a lot of their robots, a lot of the smaller ones, are actually all tributes to the classic Rogue Trader era robot minis, which I love.
It opens so much scope for conversion as well because, I love working with resin, but it's an absolute bitch to cut up.
It is. I've had more than one where it's just cracked on me, which is like, yeah.
And there's the obvious pound signs when you start doing it as well that start flashing in front of your face because it's also goddamn expensive.
Yeah.
So weirdly, the image I'm looking at the moment is different to the one that they put out the other day. Because the one they put out the other day had a Castellax, whereas this just... I don't know what that thing in the middle is.
They have changed it, haven't they?
Yeah.
Huh. Because, it looks like... I'm thinking we're going to get something Luminari. Well, I know, because this isn't supposed to be any...
Nope. This is all 40k and...
Yeah. Oh, what could that be then?
So,
jeez.
A mate of mine suggested it could be
Gene Stealer?
Thank you. Yes, Gene Stealer.
Gene Stealer Colts. Actually, yeah, that checks out. I can see it now in the arms and the hand on the staff.
I've got no idea what Coghead guy in the background is, or what the... I don't know. I'm thinking Necro for the guy front and center.
Yeah.
The guy front and center is either a Necromunda exosuit of some sort, or possibly something Votan related.
See, my initial thought was Legions Imperialis. It could be a new Titan type, but the scaling just looks right out.
It does, doesn't it? Actually, Coghead Boy could be the Legion Imperialis.
That'd be one hell of a zoomed-in picture.
Yeah. But, there's not been any AdMech for Legion Imperialis, has there?
No, not yet.
And that would probably be a much easier thing to do in plastic.
Maybe double dip, so they've got AdMech in one scale and another scale.
Yeah. They did it with Solar Auxilia.
Yep. Yeah. At the same time, there's still so much of the existing ranges that they need to bring out in that game.
Yeah.
And we're just going to get it in drips and drabs so they can get more bucks out. Which, I understand the model, I understand why they do it. As somebody with a limited budget, it sucks.
It does, unfortunately. Equally, for them, I understand also from a supply chain point of view, it gives them a bit more breathing room to work with. So they can
absolutely.
Things around a book.
Yeah. And it also keeps continual revenue coming in for a system as well. It's like the whole drop it once and walk away thing. It's going to die a death after a couple of years. So I get why they do it.
Sorry, I've just remembered. Darren, you literally told me you explained supply chains to me when we met up.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. No, because it was finally sort of opening my eyes to, because I think most people with a brain appreciate this whole thing of like GW, especially with the 40k. They've got so much stuff that it really is a case of spinning plates because there's such a wide range. Plus, you've got the popular range, which earns the big money. Then you've got the other things you want to do. Then there's the other stuff that you want to bring in. But then there's the problem of being like a global business and all of that stuff. And I think I put it to you when we were sat in a slightly oddly laid out Warhammer Fest, to put it mildly. And yeah, you went through it. It was eye opening actually to understand like lead in times and stuff.
I
And
mean,
yeah,
it's all just spitballing based off what little I know. Like I'm by no means an expert in it, but having studied engineering, I kind of have rough ideas of how it works. And looking at Games Workshop from the outside in, you can kind of start piecing some of it together. Like there's loads of unanswered questions that I've got. Like the latest Imperialis frames have land speeders on them, right?
Mhm.
And they're multi-part kits for something that small, which I don't mind, and I totally get why they do it that way, so they can get as much detail into the model as possible.
Yeah.
But they still have that horrible smearing. So I've seen some photos of the standard land speeders where the marine helmets are smeared into the back of the chairs.
Ooh.
And I'm just sat there going, well, I know you've got 3-part injection machines. Why the fuck aren't you using 3-part injection for this stuff? It'd be so easy.
We
But
we absolutely need to do a recording with you talking about like the practicalities of how, from your experience, how GW do this stuff, because a lot of people won't know.
yeah, I'd be up for nattering about anything for a while. Again, most of it is just pulled out of my arse based off what little I know and making massive assumptions and piecing snippets of information I've picked up online over the years. But I'd certainly be happy to chat about stuff.
Yeah, I do. This is the beauty as well of a lot of this, and if anyone is listening as well, please be aware. Like no one ever pretends to be an expert here. No one, no one knows. I mean, let's face it, nobody knows what GW is up to because they're so secretive. But one of the things that we've tried to do, Adam's done with me, and I know he does with other people as well, is if we have a bit of knowledge, and we're not assuming that we know everything, we can say what we know and hopefully then help educate other people as to elements of GW, like
Yeah.
for instance their financial situation and stuff like that. If people know a little bit, it helps them not to jump too much to the incorrect assumptions when news starts being reported by various YouTube sites. So I'd love to hear more about the just the mechanics of how they run their process, because it seems to be.
Reload the video. It's kicked. Oh no, you're just a bit behind me.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry.
Cool.
No, it's good. It's good. It's just be nice to, just to find out about that stuff. Like the way as well. I know that GW as well are so good at doing what they do when it comes to the molding and etc. But it means as well that when they are supposedly that good, if they then start making mistakes, as you said as well, with stuff like being molded incorrectly, you know that something is going super wrong.
I mean, it's not that it's molded incorrectly. So like the smearing thing comes from the fact they're using 2-part molds, right? So you've got
Okay.
2 blocks of metal that slam together and you put plastic into it. So when you pull them apart, you have a very limited area that you can actually put plastic in, and it has limitations on how you can fit the pieces together and how like you can do the cutaways and stuff and everything else. Is that me or D
No,
that I can hear?
I think that's.
No, it's me. For some reason, this.
I've had a
stream
quiet
can't
word with the
work.
choir. They're going to calm down a bit. They've just,
Yeah.
someone's given them some Sanatogen and they're getting a bit overexcited.
But yeah, as I was saying, because of the way they use 2-part molds, it's not a fault; it's a feature.
Oh, okay.
So a 3-part mold would allow you to do another layer on top of it, where you could do cutaways and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, D, you need to reload that, man.
Yeah.
I am seeing pretty miniatures at the moment that you guys aren't.
So am I. This is really annoying. Come on.
So for those who can't see what I'm seeing, they're showing off sisters, which I didn't expect.
And then a Canoness with jump pack, which makes me very, very happy.
Yeah,
that was literally one of the first Sisters of Battle miniatures I ever did was a kit bash of the original metal Canoness with a jump pack.
It is nice.
That is pretty.
I am baffled as to why that stream's like so far behind.
Yeah.
Have you got a different browser you can try? Oh, there we go.
There we go. Hey.
That's more like it.
By the way, this is replicating the sort of chaos that most of us have with our home watching of any stream on any given day. So
Huzzah! Excellent.
I mean, having tried to run an event on the other side of this, yeah, it's absolute madness. Everything is chaos. Everything is broken at all times.
right, I'm going to comment here and say that they really need to look after their house plants in the background. I'm not impressed. You see, finally, there's an area of I can understand, and it's
they are
bamboo
looking
as
a
well.
bit unhealthy.
I bet it's plastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
there you go. Anyway, yeah, these look really nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
So are these going to be? So these are these because there's the new. Is it the new HQ?
Yeah, so basically they've added the new one new character effectively because they've had.
Sorry, I've got the chat open, and if there's any Peep Show fans there, one of the comments was, "Acts of faith, Jeremy. More acts of faith. That's insane." Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so Adam, the sisters have always had a jump infantry of some sort.
Yeah.
But for the last couple of editions, they've not really had a character to attach to them other than the Living Saint.
Right.
And this just gives them a generic character instead.
Okay.
It's like when they bought the Space Marine and Chaos Lord with Jump Pack back as well for those forces. It's just nice to have more options, to be fair. And as someone who has a big old army of sisters to get painted, I'm loving what they're saying here.
I still have the release box from when they brought them back out in plastic that I bought for my wife, and I painted all of one miniature from.
Well, I mean, I've primed most of everything. Good old Dragon Red from the Army Painter. Because I know that they've become the popular force as the Bloody Rose.
Yeah.
But I've always painted myself as Bloody Rose. So
it happens, though. I mean, like Dark Angels were barely known for years, and then they suddenly exploded with 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there's something nice as well about if you just stick to what you like and give it a couple of years, and it will go full circle, and then suddenly you'll have people telling you that yours is the cool army that everyone should be. It's like, well, yeah, maybe. Meanwhile, we all have as well. We might as well confess our large plastic piles of shame.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
it's
hello.
A Steeler. This is an army that I've always fancied, but I've just never quite got around to looking at.
I know, right? Oh, hello.
Ooh.
That's
It's Megamind.
They won't have a doctor look at that. That's an unfortunate growth phase.
It's never going to heal if you don't stop pecking it.
Yep.
It's nice. It's very nice. I love that. Love that art.
Yeah. See, the cults are they've always been a fun idea. I'm so glad they brought them back. Because they were missed in game. And their miniature range is just lovely. I mean, the Neophytes is such a useful bunch of... I know there's a bunch of hybrids in there, but in general, it's quite a handy multi-purpose kit for any human-based army. And that new HQ just looks wonderfully gnarly. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They do have some beautiful minis.
Sorry, because you guys obviously do a lot more of the painting work, a hell of a lot more than I do. Which faction is the most attractive to kit bashers?
Oh,
because I'm wondering, because there's elements of the Mad Max with this, obviously, and I've seen people get quite excited about some of the vehicles and stuff like that. But I'm wondering, is there, this over, say, something like AdMech? I'd imagine AdMech has got huge appeal. But how does this rank?
The easier answer would be Orcs.
Yeah,
just take everything and smash together, and it works, right?
I mean, probably the easiest kits to cross-pollinate would probably be the Marines, because they've always been designed for everything to work with every other.
Yeah, they're as modular as you can get, really.
And even with the Primaris range, there's some wonderful modularity to play around with in there.
Yeah.
The human kits they got now, though, offer so many options. I mean, I've seen people do a cult army.
Ooh, sorry, I like that one.
For the Genestealer cults, because one of the versions is based on an AdMech world that's been corrupted. So they've literally mixed up the AdMech and the cultist parts, which...
That'd be quite cool.
Yep. And I think I shared a picture a few weeks back where I saw someone... I think it was for a picture of Warcom, actually, or someone had used some caudal parts to build Skitari.
Nice.
And it worked really well. And I'm now thinking, yeah, that's an idea. Yeah. But the cults. I'm liking how they're bringing back they're upgrading the Brood Brothers kit as well.
I want to see more Megamind.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, look.
All right. I love the fact that it's like partly chitinous and partly human and giant brainy.
Yeah, it's like a Zoanthrope's just been slapped against his head. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Also, when did Games Workshop hire Nick Offerman?
It's not far off, is it?
No.
I mean, for the Design Studio does have some wonderful beers amongst their team.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it. If you're working for them and you're enjoying the job, then you're living the dream. So therefore, you can just you have that confidence to do what you want, and that means probably growing a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not for those who lack facial hair out there. I'm not being nasty. I feel for you.
I am disappointed that none of this team we've seen in recent years have dared to replicate the almighty Andy Chambers early 90s.
Let's be honest, it takes a special kind of somebody to pull off early 90s Andy Chambers.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's like maybe 3 or 4 people I'm aware of on the planet that can do that, him being one of them. The other one being Trent Reznor.
And one of the others being Lemmy.
Yep.
There you go. You just lost me as soon as you said Trent Reznor. That's it. I'm off. Thank you for that. By the way, Brainiac looks kind of like he looks like he's doing a magic show at Las Vegas. Is there a Pete in the audience? Do you have an aunt called Mabel? I'm sensing water.
Your card?
Water. Is this your card?
Right, that's it. I am now building a Vegas-themed Genestealer cult army.
The thing is, I'm kind of now tempted to, because there's a couple of really nice Psycho miniatures across different ranges. Just to have dueling stage magicians.
Penn and Teller.
Just put make the cape white and rhinestone covered, and you've got that Vegas feel.
Beautiful. But yeah, there's definitely the potential to do a Penn and Teller army there. Army.
Oh, look at that!
There's some lovely bits.
It's that one very human guy with the little cord to his nose.
Yeah,
it just looks like the baddest ass regular, like just normal human figure. People are going to be mixing this up with the guard so much.
Absolutely.
So I've noticed, by the way, that this recording is all as well. It's all heavily pre-recorded and chopped together.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, hello.
Ooh. Ooh, I like him. Ooh.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're not messing around here.
No.
Wow. Oh, look at those big
Lord
boys.
Almighty.
Well, I'm never going to financially recover from this.
Nope.
By the way, anyone listening, you can take the audio from the last 30 seconds and put it over an adult film, and it would totally fit in. We're all going, oh, look at that big boy. Oh,
these are lovely.
That's beautiful.
And they're all in plastic, I hope.
Yeah. And
finally.
That looks awfully like a battle force to me.
Yep. I mean, it seems to be the common approach to it at the moment now, right?
Yep.
give you a
big major battle force release, and then drop them all separately.
Mm. Oh, like Castellax, the big one.
Oh,
they are. I mean, that's going to be a lovely project for a lot of. I imagine a lot of painters are just going to be getting that as a project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've seen some lovely Admech armies over the years, and
yeah.
The Heresy ones have been nice, but a bit spread out because of how expensive the Admech have been, because it's all resin.
It also makes my plans for doing Dark-Mech at some point a lot easier, because modern Admech's fine, but it doesn't seem to fit.
Yeah. Yep. They've got to be doing that soon, pulling the trigger on Dark Mechanicus.
Yeah, it makes sense to do them in Heresy.
Yes.
40k, yes and no, but like we've had Vashtor, so
yeah.
Yeah, surely Vashtor should be almost the figurehead for Dark Mech. I'm amazed that it's not further along. But I suppose if this goes down like a gangbuster, if this goes really well, which it's going to, people are going to love this. It's probably going to be one of those sellouts that nobody can get for a bit. But you can guarantee they're going to go, right, we take 15 bits off this, we amend this, we stick it back together, and boom, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, it just opens up so much potential for conversion and stuff as well.
And I mean, they've been teasing so much with Admech, with Dark Mechanicus rather, because we had the that unit in Blackstone Fortress.
Yep.
That was like the mirror of the Electro Priests, which was quite cool.
Here we go. They're talking about the production. So call back to an earlier conversation.
Oh.
Aha.
It's going to get rewatched later.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've actually said what we've just said about taking the plastic gives them a chance to get create a bunch more things, shove them together.
Yep.
Though they probably do it with a bit more care than I've just said. Oh, it looks beautiful.
I never realised that the mortar was supposed to open up originally.
No.
On the original kit, and that just makes it even cooler that it does do that. That's awesome.
It's big enough for you to stick a bunch of electrics in. Got the tar.
Yep.
I have no
as well.
Yeah. I mean, I have no doubt there'll be some mad bugger who does an army of these. It's just all LED'd up for a zoo.
Yeah, don't because it's increased. It's the perfect army to do it in. I've seen people do it with Marines and stuff, and it looks great, but it's not my thing.
Oh, and they've confirmed it is a box. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, that Tech Priest as well. It's just. Oh.
By the way,
apologies to listeners who have probably thought that me and Darren are having a combined
it's okay
issue at the moment, but
they've listened to Gruffy. They know what to expect.
I already have a big project with the whole naval thing. I want them to release plastic planes before this shit. God damn it!
Guard are probably going to be the big Christmas release, I imagine.
Yeah, but like, I'm doing the naval project now, and not Christmas. I got my lightning.
By the way, how quickly you got that painted up, that looks gorgeous.
Very, very odd. But anyone listening who plays Warframe, if you spun that figure round, so almost like the cylindrical cone is on the front. If you flipped it 180, that actually looks like that could be amended to be a figure from Warframe, which excites me incredibly. Like, I might get it just for that. That's incredible. I like the fact as well that you could almost design it as you've got what's left of the human element surging forward, and then you've got the robotic element, like guarding the rear, so to speak.
Ooh,
more heresy. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they are
just books. They've got to put another book out for the. Oh, finally!
Oh, this
big
is going to
tank battles and titans.
Lordy.
Oh,
man. This is the biggest tank battle in galactic history, this.
Yep. I've still not got up to that part in the series yet.
I just love that it's a classic bit of lore right back from Second Ed that they've brought back.
Epic scale? They're epic scale.
Yeah, baby.
Can I just say that if you listen closely, you can hear the orgasmic cries of Kirioth of watching those tanks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him find out there's a campaign book that lets him play the biggest tank battle in history. He's going to... I'm not sure... Well, he'll have been ecstatic. Valrak, possibly not as much, but I'm sure they'll both have been...
There's not enough Imperial Fists.
Not
this
yet.
is true. Although the fact that it's basically everyone versus the Iron Warriors probably make him happy.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy unless there's a Lamenter. I just want a Lamenter. I don't care if it's on fire at the back of the stage.
Did the Lamenters even exist during the Heresies? Like
no, they don't exist until.
Well,
no. I'm sorry. I have headcanon for Proto Lamenters.
Nice.
It's a guy called Bob who's having a really, really bad day.
I was gonna say because you've got shit, I can't remember what it's called. Imperial Fist guys, Crusade everywhere.
Oh, you got the Black Templars.
Yeah, so they existed in the Fists, right?
Yep.
So surely other sub that became chapters kind of already existed during the Heresy as well.
Well, a lot of them, their founders were there. So the Crimson Fists were founded by Alexis Pollux, whose name was the Crimson Fist.
Yep.
Asir Amit was the Flesh Terror.
Yep.
You've got... I'm trying to remember now. What is this? Which chapter? The Nova Marines were... Their entire heraldry is based on one particular Ultramarine Legion captain.
Called Bob Nova.
Count to 10.
I can't believe how nice they look for something as small as they are.
Yeah. And the thing is, they are small, but they're not as small as people think, which is what I do appreciate. But they are just lovely.
They're so small that you can blast out literally over 100 minis in the space of a week if you really want to, like I did. Or you can do like the Pro Painter guys do and spend a month on each single in Space Marine.
Yeah, I'm still amazed at was it Lou Suggs who did one?
Suggs, yeah, she did
one Marine right up to competition level, and it just looked astounding.
Yeah.
Oh, these do look good. It's nice to have all the options coming out as well, you know.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
Now the question is how long before people can actually buy them, because there'll be the initial wave that will instantly sell out, and then all the doomsayers will come out and it's like, oh, it's going to be cancelled. Oh, you can't keep them in stock.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Mm.
No. So
he's got the best job in the world today because it's literally and here's the next thing.
Necromunda?
Or
please.
Yep. Oh, Hive Secundus.
I knew it.
Christ.
I knew they were going to another Hive.
Oh.
Brain bugs?
I mean, I am.
I have the biggest grin on my face right now.
So wait, we've got mutated gene stealers who look gnarly as hell, lordy.
Versus
Tech Hunters? Christ, I've not heard some of that name in a long time. Damn. And this is the first official time Gene Stealer cults have really come to the game of Necromunda.
Oh, holy fuck. I've not played Necromunda since I was in my 20s, and you have no idea how excited I am by this.
Yeah. Oh, it's a whole new box game as well.
Yep.
Oh, crikey.
Saw that coming.
This is, I mean, Hive Secundus is one of those bits of lore that everyone kind of. The thing is, Necromunda everyone knows because it's Hive Primus.
Yeah.
But the rest of the Hive has always been kind of missed out. And my words is like they're going to be amending that.
Oh, I love the direction you've taken this.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the thing is, as well, this is going to add so much as well to people who play Gene Stealers in general.
Yeah.
And also, you were just saying as well, Darren, about the admechs and just adapting and stuff like that. And these other figures look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for the direction they're taking this.
Absolutely.
Oh, well.
Oh.
That's okay. We recovered. We're good.
I may need somebody to check, see if I'm breathing in a couple of minutes.
Should we ask your missus to get you some oxygen, mate? Because it sounds like you need it.
I think I might need to borrow your CPAP machine.
Now, do we think this is just promotional art? Is this art from a book that's in the box set?
This will be in the rule book.
Both.
Because I wonder as well. I wonder.
Oh,
Spyros.
Is that a softback book that I see there?
I think it is.
Fucking finally! Sorry, I have a hatred for large format hardback books.
Well, haven't most of the books that come in for box games for Necromunda and Warcry been paperbacks? The hardback is for a separate release. I
am now suddenly feeling like I need to check my collection because I don't actually know.
Because I've got a copy of the of a couple of, because I've got the core rulebook for Necromunda, the old, the first one they did with the cover from the first box art.
Oh, look at him!
And that's a hardback. Oh man, these are.
Wow.
Who the hell told the design studio make the Genius Stealers even creepier, please?
I keep saying it, but the design team that look after Necromunda have basically just been told to do whatever the hell they want, and they're doing whatever the hell they want, and oh my god, it works every single time! Like that guy's face!
Oh, Jesus. Wow. They've not had a bad miniature Necromunda yet, have they? Not really.
No, they've had a couple of weird ones, but not, like, bad weird.
Yeah.
It's been, like, weird as in, like, what on earth have you guys been smoking weird?
Yeah, and again, this is all plastic.
Yeah. Well, Necromunda's hybrid, isn't it?
Well, characters and some of the upgrade kits are resin.
Yeah.
Or resin plastic hybrids. But if it's in a box set, it'll be all plastic.
Oh, God.
You realise, of course, that when they do another convention, and cosplayers are going to be trying to recreate some of these things full scale, and it's going to freak the hell out of everyone. Because these are really nasty. They're great designs, though, and you're right. They are just doing. I mean, Sigmar's been getting a lot of praise for these wonderful sculpts.
So,
but Necromunda has really been doing an incredible job, and this looks beautiful.
So, did I read that right? They've integrated the Spires into Helmwar now.
Yeah, it looks like they've brought all the houses under Halmor's direct control. Oh, this is brilliant. They're twisting the idea of what Spires are as well.
For this. I am so psyched for this. Like, everything they brought out for Necromunda has me hyped every time. And I keep buying it all. I never quite get around to getting it built. I never quite get around to getting a game in, but it's all going to be there when I have the time.
Yep.
And I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I've always had it in mind to try and do something, maybe to do a Necromunda-inspired guard army. That's why I kind of keep picking up odd bits and pieces in a rare. But this ain't helping me do that. This is just more stuff to put together. God, that looks good.
Yeah, like I have too many silly projects. Like there's the entire Dark Angels chapter that I'm working on. There's my Imperial Navy build. There's the Dark Mech that I want to do. There's all of the Necromunda insanity.
Yeah. I mean, I still have my Tanif project I need to try and do something with on top of everything else.
I think it's good that everyone has dreams, and I don't think there's any shame in having a large list of projects to do.
Not at all, until you realise that you run out of time and money and...
Oh, look at that variation.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. I
That's
love the colours they've used on that as well.
Yeah.
By the way, dear Grey Knights, that's what a baby suit should look like.
And my word, one of them had one hell of a codpiece there. Jesus.
Well,
But I love though that is basically an update of the old. Was it the August for the Spyro that was the heavy hitter?
Yeah.
So the guns in their fists as well, and were just
They were a gang that nobody in my group ever played, thankfully, because I was terrified of.
Yeah, I still have a bunch of the metal Spyros in a box. I think I might have one of each potentially.
It was a toss-up between them and the Arbiters that just scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, the Arbites were just... That was what the campaign organizer just brought out to make everyone suffer.
Yep. Oh.
Now, do we have a tease? By the way, they've not tried to be smart and stick anything weird and wonderful in his back, have they?
Sadly not.
No.
Okay.
No.
I think they know that too many of us would be wise to that.
Yeah.
And this done. But blimey.
Yeah, I am. I need to go lie down. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, the AdMech stuff was lovely, and then they dropped that.
Yeah, they really weren't messing around with any of this stuff. Let's open
Nope.
up a few tabs to take a closer look, shall we?
Yeah.
Because I'm evil like that.
I mean, let's be honest, they stopped fucking around a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, as previews go,
It was good. It was shorter than a lot of the previous ones. They've got this new format as well, where they're keeping it pre-recorded, so it's nice bite-sized chunks. The fact that they've only got the one host means that there's no waffle. You know, you're not. You know, although we like the other stuff, they can just punch it out and focus on the models, and it makes for a hell of an experience.
I miss the waffle.
Like, they had a good setup between the banter between Eddie, Adam, and whoever else they brought in was always quite fun. I kind of get what they're going for by going away from talking heads segments with the dev team to trying to present it more as an interview format, so they're actually talking about things. I think they're still kind of getting the handle on, what's the word? How do I want to phrase this? They're
getting the feel for it.
The execution.
Yeah.
So, to me, this is a step away from, and there's going to be people that will tell me I'm wrong here, but being more hobby-focused in the past, where it was just a couple of guys that enjoy the game, enjoy the
having a bit of banter,
having a bit of a ban, watching a live stream, and pulling up the odd mini, going, "Oh, this is ace," and showing us the box contents and stuff, to a more slick, professional, we're about to launch this massive thing that's we need to sell to people that are watching our TV shows on Amazon.
Yeah, I get that. Bit of a shame. It's kind of understandable, like you say, because they are kind of preparing, I think, for that influx, so they have to factor that into things.
Yeah, they kind of want to get their T's crossed and their I's dotted first, right? And make sure they've got it nailed down. I
mean, the only thing I could maybe think of, it might have served them if they could have had something kind of in between each of the segments, because you'd go from, and I've forgotten his name, the host, end in one segment, and then you jump into another pre-recorded segment with no gap in between. Maybe if they'd had like
the videos they used to put in.
Yep.
Like the little pre-rendered trailers and stuff, they were ace. I get they take a lot of work though.
I mean, they still do those, but they tend to keep them more for
Massive.
the big edition launches, so AOS and 40k 10th. But maybe if they just have like in between little teasers of some of the shows on Warhammer TV, maybe.
Yeah.
Just throughout the course of the thing, that might help them in breaking things up, so it feels a little less like one continuous thing when it's clearly been shot as separate segments and intended to be digested as separate segments. But
I'm just looking at Warhammer Community now, and
yeah,
those weird plasma rifle hybrid things that the AdMech have got are just lovely.
Code of Mechanicum. Yeah, the tech thralls. And it's a battle group.
Yep.
And it's plastic. And oh god, this is going to cost so much money.
I mean, those tech thralls are going to make great services for 40k.
Yeah.
Which there's been a lack of for a while, let's be honest.
I mean, we've had a couple of good plastic servitors with heavy weapons, but
yeah,
I've been missing having the more.
Are they even still a playable thing outside of Legends?
What servitors?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think they are, because I think they took them out of the Marine Codex, which is where they. I don't think they're an option anymore in the AdMech Codex. Hang on, let me just open the app, and I shall take a look. Yes, trust my computer. You know this.
Yeah. So Googling, you'd normally expect the Warhammer website to be the first hit for anything that they're selling at the moment.
Yeah.
And there's nothing there.
Wow.
They've completely gone as a tabletop thing.
Wow.
Outside of Legends, which fine, because I don't care about tournaments anyway.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, they were still using some of the original second ed servitors.
Yeah.
Because they had added additional ones over the years for different units and releases, but there was no real consistency to them.
Yeah, I agree.
But like you say, these are going to be great for people who just want to take them and convert up a massive AdMech servitor thralls to follow, just to add a bit of flavour to an army. But even though they look fantastic as they are, though, all these exposed wires sutured into arms cut off with bare plugs at the end. I mean,
those half arm figures are basically a challenge to anyone who even does a fractional bit of kit back. It's to say, right, what can you stick on there?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's beautiful because they're not. There's a lot of detail on them. They're not overly busy though. Yeah, they're just the right balance. I do like the claw arm.
Narratively, I just love how they are kind of Borg, but with far more body horror.
Yeah.
I mean, the Borg is done with purpose. This is just.
I mean, it's done on purpose, but.
Can you imagine a Nurgle version of those?
Oh, God. I mean, this kit's just going to be a godsend for so many people.
Yeah.
Not just AdMech players, I mean.
Yeah. There's so much scope here. Like, you could easily do... There's one I'm looking at now with, like, loads of cabling and stuff coming out of his arms. It could be some sort of weird Slaneshi thing going on. Because you could do the cabling as, like, organic rather than mechanical.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I quite like the one with the stumpy arm, where they've just not put anything on the end of it.
Yeah.
And it just... I'm just looking at how...
You imagine, though, it's like one arm... The thing is, as well, with the angle, you can't completely tell. I'm sure they are holding a gun. But you imagine you wake up from your kind of latest upgrade, and one of your arms is a gun, and the other one is just a stump.
I mean,
this is great, but I'm not going to enjoy a drink after the battle, am
I? Looking at all of them, one of their arms is a gun. I don't think any of them has their right arm.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
it's all suited on weaponry. It's brilliant.
There's one guy even looking down and going, "All I've got is a gun."
How am I going to enjoy myself?
Thank goodness they've helpfully given me a small cutlery attachment underneath the gun.
I do like.
God, now I just want to do a load of these as versions of Crichton.
I mean, that's kind of always been servitors, though, right? Like all the ones
Yeah.
we've seen on the tabletop, for the most part, one of their arms has been a weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, and those Steelers. Oh God. Sorry, jumping around on the Warcom site now,
No, that's
and
good.
just
Yeah, House Secundus. Zone Necromunda game. That's an interesting tagline they've not used before, have they?
no.
I don't know. They didn't use it for Ash Wastes, which.
So it's that's weird. It's like Zone Mortalis meets Necromunda, maybe.
Oh, they've got a weird flying baby.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's a. I can't even pronounce it. Cataridid or something.
Oh yeah.
Caryatid Prime.
Wow.
Is my guess. As it Aurus
Caryatid. Yeah. Caryatid. That's the one.
Crikey.
It used to be the flying winged baby back in First Ed Necro, didn't it?
Yeah. And it's a new bunch of. Wait, are these?
Oh, just jump back. Look at that. Look at that face. That. So
Which one?
sorry, you just had it on there. If you go right one, that it's almost like an inhuman. It almost looks like an inhuman face. It looks like a.
Yeah.
Oh, with the tentacle out the back of his head.
Yeah, it reminds me of. Oh, I'll tell you what. It reminds me of Yul Brynner in Westworld. I don't know why.
Yeah, but these Van Stars have got some lovely work done to make them look suitably unhealthy and rat infested.
Oh, that would make sense as well. There, sorry, I just realised. Yeah, the radiation suits.
But yeah, I think they're not an upgrade to the Van Star kit. They are an all new kit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't recognise any of them from the existing range.
None of the poses as well. That's quite superb.
Oh, I really wish I'd have properly got into Necromunda when they re-released it instead of just buying the boxes and sticking them to one side.
Yeah,
but you look, you if Wallet and time allows, you get to come into it now with possibly the most artistic release that they've done.
Yeah,
because,
I mean,
this
look
is
at
beautiful.
these bloody Gene Stealers, Christ!
Even like the half-breed ones that are still humanoid are phenomenal. A bit further down.
Yeah, and the thing is, these hybrids are actually because you can leave the heads off and put something more normal on there, and they'll be brilliant.
Yep.
And again, they're all new bodies. There's no replication from existing kits. That's unexpected, really unexpected. Given that they're Necromunda kits, they're going to be so cross-compatible with every other human kit that's out there. Oh, look at that! Look at that sawn-off shotgun. Jeez.
Can I just say as well, I think we do need to give thanks to Games Workshop for hearing that we were going to do our first ever live stream and making sure that they gave us the quality of releases that we required for our first stream.
They really definitely brought their A game.
Absolutely.
They're there going, I really hope Darren and Dee are okay with this. Don't worry about Adam. He won't recognise anything. But Darren and Dee, they'll care. He has a very odd expression on his face, that man.
Yeah.
It's almost like a cheeky wink.
Similar to the face I was pulling when they were making this announcement, to be honest.
Actually, scroll up just for a second for me. You've got the I think it's a little further up. It's the those. Apologies, my lore has just deserted me. So, race that attacks psychers, not
Well,
beholders.
we all thought these were going to be enslavers
Flavors.
Yes,
Yeah.
of
yeah,
some
that was
sort,
it.
because
I
they look.
They do look so much like some of the older versions of enslavers.
Did they even explain what they were on the stream?
Hang on,
Because
what's it say?
I was too busy drooling. There's
Yeah.
nothing on the page.
It doesn't even say here what they are.
No.
Oh no, hang on.
6 Maelstrom Gene Stealers.
Maelstrom
Oh,
Terramites.
Terramites. That's what they are. They're Terramites.
Okay.
Oh bless.
I'll accept that. That makes sense. Oh.
No, they're now enslavers. That's what I'm running them as.
Yeah, I mean,
the
everyone
best
looks at
thing-
them and just goes, "Yeah, they're
Best
enslavers."
thing is, if you want any company for Megamind, you can always take the human head off, stick one of those instead on,
Oh
on the
god,
neck.
Jesus. That's a
Adam, you
thought
just
that
managed to
really
make
doesn't.
things even more horrific. Well done.
Just when I thought my nightmares weren't going to be bad enough.
I just think so. Something that I was chatting about to Dee the other night was that with some of these they've reached such a level of, I think, sculpting. It's just they're doing so well with these. And you've got the McFarlane stuff that's out at the moment, and Dee as well. You mentioned the wetter stuff, but you're going to get to the point where people are going to ask for some of this stuff, especially the more detailed stuff. So maybe not the human stuff, but the like the full gene stealers. They're going to be asking for that at double or triple the size, just to have that as a sculpture that they can. Or 3Ders will be going, yeah, I just want that, but 3 times the size, just to paint it, not to play with it, not to use it in a board game, to have it as a display piece. They're beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine NID players are looking at these Maelstrom geniuses going, right, that's my brood leaders all sorted out for the editions.
I mean, hell, it blows the door open on like a whole new approach to playing Steelers, right? Because you could run an entire faction of, well, we've tried to fix the problem, but we've made it worse.
Yeah. Run them alongside an Admech priest who's been suitably.
So, the Tech Stealer range that some 3D modeling guy does, whose name escapes me, that I've done a couple of prints of.
I know the ones you mean, yeah.
Yeah. So there's already examples of people trying to merge the two ranges, right? So it definitely opens up so much modeling potential.
Yeah, these are just. Look about that box, because. Oh, look at that cover. I mean, that is a very nice box game to get a hold of.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's kind of an evolution of the original Underhive box set as well. So played on a single-dimensional board, you have terrain walls. But I like how it's got clear segments for...
I wonder if they're using those as, like, view blocks. But there's a way of cutting down the cost of the contents.
Maybe.
Because they do look oddly solid and oddly... almost like you're not supposed to see through them, right?
Yeah, I mean, to my mind, their walls, whilst the tile, the panels they got have all got doors in.
Yeah. The one that was just being highlighted before has a break in the middle of it. That's clearly a wall.
Yeah, that's been
burst. And I bet you, the plastic parts from the Dark Uprising box fit perfectly.
Oh, the Zone Mortalis stuff.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, I can see it now looking at it. For the way that's been designed, you can see the bulkhead endpoints. Yeah. That's actually some really nice design they put in there.
Yeah.
Because if you have the terrain, you can always plop it down. But if you don't,
you can just run with it.
Yeah.
That's actually really nice.
I mean, they've kind of been doing that with the Conquest and other stuff that they did with Hachette.
Hachette.
Yeah, that word. Where they'd give out like little mini game boards which had scenery pre-printed on them.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
there were rules built around the scenery that was pre-screened. And then maybe in a later issue, you'd actually get the piece of scenery that was pre-screened.
Hmm.
So it's not like they've not got form on this.
No, that's true, to be fair. Ooh, funky coloured dice as well. Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, and blast templates, which are always nice.
The classic.
I do miss those in 40k.
I understand why they removed them. It's just it does make things a bit quicker, let's be honest, and less fast.
Yeah. And
but I do miss the days of a heavy flamer just hitting like 4 units with one burst.
Yeah, I mean the way they're kind of approaching 40k is very much mass simplifications because it's their biggest seller, so it's the one that the kids are going to be getting.
Yeah,
and it makes it easier for competitive players.
Yes, less things
because
to argue.
It speeds the game up, stops people arguing over stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, so, I remember so many arguments over years at events with real hardcore players who are like, no, that's not halfway under. And then when they're taking fire, it's like, no, you're halfway under. You've lost all of those guys now. It's like
it built a lot of bad sportsmanship into the game, I think. Because you'd have the people who are hardcore like, no, I must win at all costs. So they just deliberately go out and out to try and fudge things. Like, I remember back when I used to play heavily, we'd just dice off for stuff that we weren't sure about because it just seemed easier.
Yeah.
And you'd end up either like sulking because it didn't go your way, or just being like, ha, you suck. But you just took it as it came, right? But I totally get why they'd want to move away from that. But at the same time, it's nice that things like Horus Heresy and
Necromunda and stuff like that. I mean, they're games which are much more narratively driven. So that I mean, Heresy is the intended market is a much older bracket, so I assume players have got a bit more of a maturity about them. Necromunda is a much more
narrative,
and it's a much more
RPG.
It's a much smaller scale as well. So you're not going to be as worried about saying, no, I've hit this many guys. Like, no, is he under the template or is he not? Because you're only really going to get 1 or 2 people at a time with these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're lucky. But,
it actually makes me wonder why we've not seen an equivalent sort of game for Age of Sigmar. So we've got Kill Team and Necro 40k, which are like hyper competitive and narrative focused.
Yes.
But we've only got Sigmar.
Warcry.
Which I don't even know what that is.
Well, the thing is, it's weird because AOS has got Warcry and Underworld. So you got your hyper competitive game in Warcry, and you got in Underworld, and you got Warcry, which is for much more.
Is Underworld hyper competitive? I kind of always viewed it as like a pub table game.
Kind of. I mean, my understanding of it is that yes, it can be played that way, but it's also been designed to be the way they've developed it over the years with rotating stuff out of the game and updating card decks and whatnot. It's supposed to be a much more balanced system for playing at a competitive level with. I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, which I get, but they have. I mean, they were open about when they launched it that they'd taken a lot of inspiration from card battler systems that they were trying to work to give it that sort of flavor to it. So, which I get. I mean, I'm actually surprised we haven't had an Underworld type game for 40k universe. In all fairness,
yeah.
But then
that's the other thing that's thrown me.
But then Kill Team and Necromunda kind of fill that slot between them for given just how many kits those 2 games have gotten.
When you look at all like the mini third-party seller games that they're putting out, they're predominantly 40k focused as well, and they're predominantly lead-ins to things like Kill Team, like the Darktide game. I've not played it, I've not read the rules, but having seen Irene's video on it, it's very much this is a sort of CCG style game without the CCG aspects. It's just card driven. You've got this really basic AI that drives the enemies, which having played in Assassinorum Execution Force works really well for something as simple as it is. Even if you do get the odd dumb character that just walks backwards and forwards occasionally.
Well, I mean, the AI system in Blackstone Fortress worked really nicely for things like that, to be fair.
I've never played Blackstone. I've got it. It's just one of those games that every time I set it up, it's like an hour to put it on the table.
Yeah,
At which point,
it does take a bit
I don't want to learn.
Yeah. I mean, I've done maybe 4 or 5 missions since I've had the game. And that's not even touching any of the expansions as well.
Yeah.
And part of me is scared too, because there's so many of they had so much more to the game each time. It's just like, oh god.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complaint I've got with games like Firefly, where the expansions add a ton of flavor, but they just turn it into this horrible drag.
Yeah, and it's not like Firefly's a quick game to play in the first place.
No, not at all. Not at all. And BSF, the few times I've put it down to look at it and actually try to learn, I've just not had the energy to actually start going through the rules of it, because it just takes that long to get the table set up.
Yeah, and it's a shame because it's a lovely presented package.
Yeah.
And when you do get a chance to play it, I mean, the fact that it does play single player so well, and it's a real cooperative experience, because you're not playing against the other players. You have to work together to survive, because it is also quite tough even on the standard difficulty before you even. I mean, I can't even imagine trying to play it on the Abominable Intelligence version. I'm quite glad I didn't actually get that deck in the end, even though I wish I had, because it's missing from the collection. But I can't imagine the game being any harder, to be honest.
No comment, since I only have the core game, because I stupidly didn't realize it wasn't going to stick around forever.
Yeah, that is a bit of a shame, that one, because it's such a good game as well. It's one
and it introduced so many nice historical sort of references and minis and concepts and stuff. Like, it's a vehicle to really mine the depths of what they've built lore-wise over the past 40 years. It can't get much better.
Yeah, they did get quite weird with some of the ideas, which I loved.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping they might return to that. Maybe not for Blackstone Forge itself, but to 40k for another Warhammer Quest at some point.
Yeah, although after the disaster that was
Curse City,
Curse City's release, I'm not sure.
Well, that's why as well. That's why you can't be, if you don't jump on board with some of these games straight away, you can never beat yourself up about it, because there's so much. Like, listening to you, Darren, on this stream, the amount of stuff that you clearly want to buy, but it's like there's only so many hours in the day, so many gaps in the wallet, but also as well, it's like, well, if they released another new format of game this time, and it looked amazing, it was up to this standard, there's always that slight worry that, are they going to follow it up? Is it going to lead to? And the thing is that we've even seen there are factions that have been released last couple of years, like the Votan. It's like they've released it and they've had a big release, but there's still more stuff to come. And players are going, we kind of need this before we fully engage with this. And AdMech, and we're finally seeing AdMech get payoff for fans who wanted more of this stuff for years, and now they got it in plastic. So I'm also going to say, by the way, we have been staring at our screens and nattering away, and we have not even taken notice of the fact that Andy has been messaging us.
Has he?
With a few comments. Bless his heart. And he came up with a really good idea, actually, about turning the AdMech stuff, turning it into Necrons.
Yeah. And
it reminds me of the Dawn of War games, when you had the human representative, like half amended sort of Necron human hybrid.
Oh, Veil Pariahs.
Yeah. That would be something.
I freaking loved those miniatures.
Hell, gone.
When there's that short story in the in the 3rd edition Codex, when they introduced the Pariahs, with a lovely bit of artwork of just a mass line of humanity being guided by Pariahs into flesh forges to be changed into them. And the story itself was just so damn creepy, because it was this tech priest who'd torn his own eyes out because he'd seen the future and was like, nope.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a good codex. It was back when the Necrons themselves were still kind of mindless, and the Catan were the masterminds of the whole thing. Before we gave Necrons more personality.
Before they tweaked it, yeah.
That range has had so many adjustments made over its lifespan.
It has. Yeah. It's kind of fascinating for Crons to see how they've evolved over the years to where they are now. Part of me is kind of on the fence as to which one Part of me would like it if it. I kind of work on the theory that neither version is. What's the word?
Canon? No, not canon.
No, neither one invalidates the other.
Yeah.
So I fully believe that you could quite easily do a force which is basically a Necron army where the leader is just a puppet through a Catan shard that's got a bit more going for him and has built this force and is doing Catan space god things to everyone. But at the same time, you can have the mass ranks of these rising dynasties who are like, what the fuck's going on here? You built a city over my tomb.
Imagine a Necron leader that wants to try and understand their enemy, understand the human so they can defeat the human. And so you take a beneficitus and take the human head out and put a Necron head in there. And it's a robot that's grafted a mass of human brains onto its head to try and understand how the Emperor's forces work. This stuff is beautiful.
But yeah, swing back to Andy's point. Like, one of the things I had with, was it Ninth Ed when we got the Necrons? I deliberately didn't sell the Necron side because I had plans to turn them into Dark Mech.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Which they've still just kind of sat there. Like, I got all like, oh my god, this is War of the Worlds with them, with the tribots for a while.
Yeah.
And then was just like, no, these are perfect for doing Dark Mech matchups. Screw it.
I mean, I still have all the Necron stuff from Imperium, but I just want to. At some point, I want to have a Necron army, just because I love the idea. The idea of them is so bonkers. I've even got a few pariahs knocking around I managed to find cheap. I just need to kit bash for weapons a bit, but it's such a nice range, even if they are a bit fiddly at times.
Yeah, I like complex assembly, but even they put me off.
So what's your guys' favorite things from the show?
Necromunda, without a doubt. Like, not even a second's thought. Necromunda.
Is it because it exceeds all your expectations? It surprised you? Is it the sculpts? Is it the way they're taking?
Beautiful sculpts, massively exceeding my expectations. It's a game that I've always adored. It's a setting that I've always loved, and the fact that the game is big enough and popular enough now that they're able to start exploring the setting in more depth and take it in some very interesting directions. Like, we've always known Hive Secundus had issues, and we've always known that it like probably got destroyed, and we always thought, oh yeah, it was just Steelers, right? To go from it's just Steelers, right, to the Imperium's been doing fucky shit with stuff that they shouldn't touch and have caused their own downfall as normal, because that's what the Imperium does best. It's just such a nice sort of return to the deep levels of irony that 40k has always had, where it's like, oh no, the Imperium are like doing everything they can to survive, and no. Oh, they've done something stupid again, haven't they? Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm going to second that. This Hive Secundus box, don't get me wrong, Sororitas with the Canoness, great, love it, lovely mini, but I expected. Steelers with their new Megamind,
Brainbug,
unexpected. It's Steelers being Steelers.
Yep.
Plastic Mechanicum for Heresy.
Awesome minis, awesome sculpts, so much potential, long-weighted army. But it's just Mechanicum.
Yeah. We knew it was going to come at some point, and to see it is lovely.
Yeah.
Devastation of Talan, not really an Imperialis guy, but I love
It's nice for people that like that sort of thing.
It's also something that we've known has been coming for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if not in this form. However, Hive Secundus. Did anyone predict we were going to get this?
A few people had mentioned this online. It wasn't a huge secret, but I don't think anyone thought it would be to this level.
Yeah,
I've been saying since we saw what we thought was the Enslaver that we'd got Hive Secundus wrong, that it was going to be Hive Secundus, that instead of it being Nids, it was going to be Enslavers. So I had a feeling we'd go to Hive Secundus. I didn't know we'd go this damn hard.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, we got new Spirers.
Yeah.
And that means...
Yeah, people, they've been being screamed for since Necromunda came back.
Yeah, but this means we're going to get the rest of them. They have to now.
Yep.
And that gives me warm, tingly feelings in my stomach.
Yep. And, when you think about it, the scope for Necromunda to turn into this grand campaign now is just becoming phenomenal, because you can do the whole bunch of upstart gangs in Hive Brightness, making the way through, trying to build out a gang, trying to build out everything they're doing, becoming successful, even if they all become equally successful at the same time, suddenly getting contracted for jobs. So, you've got this whole RP thing where you've got the guy running the campaign in the background, just so, you've now got jobs that need you to deliver shit to other hives. Oh, cool. Okay, so we'll build vehicles. And then you've got the Ash Waste stuff that suddenly comes out.
Yeah.
The next thing you know...
and by the way, you've managed to piss off the local enforcers, so they're now chasing you.
Yep.
And they've got an Arbite over their head.
Yep. And you've just been asked to go to Hive Secundus. Now, you know it's a crater, but there's Archaeotype in there, and it's going to get you rich.
And we promise you there's nothing in there that could cause you any harm at all.
Yeah.
Would you like some more ammunition?
The scope to have a massive, grand, individual-led, not individual-led, but Game Master-led RP campaign for this is unreal.
Yeah.
And this is exactly the sort of stuff that I've been wanting to do since I was a kid. I remember, God, was it Jervis Johnson or one of the others that had this whole grand campaign where they were using hex tiles?
I think it was either Jervis or Nigel Stillman.
Or Andy Chambers, maybe.
Yeah.
But it was one of those three. And they were merging Gothic, 40k, Epic, and the hex tile system that we had out for a while.
Yeah, I remember those days.
So you this massive system where it's just you can call in reinforcements, you can get spaceships, but they might run into a blockade, and you might, if you can occupy this area, you'll get this, and this area, you'll get this. And since I've been a kid, I've wanted to do that, and Necromunda gives you that exact perfect opportunity now.
Yeah. This is... It's going to be so hard to get a copy of this, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah. I am thinking that the best thing would be to use Darksphere's interest register. I wonder if they put something up already.
Well, if he hasn't, then Neil at Leonidas probably has done, because he's been quite good about getting people's interest registered.
Not a company I've ever used. I've only been knocked back from Darksphere once. It's because I registered my interest the day before.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
and honestly,
if you guys are able to do that, by the way, maybe ping something in the group to let other people know. Just because I get the feeling that there'll be a hell of a lot of interest in this. But I'll be honest. I think this is going to be one of those. It sells out immediately, and people are flipping it on eBay unless they go made to order.
I don't think they'll go made to order. It's probably going to be. The way they've handled Necromunda releases hasn't really been limited run.
Oh, that's
the only or they've been limited in the sense that they stuck around for 6 months to a year.
Yeah. I think the only one that was limited was the Dark Uprising box.
Yeah, which is exactly the one that I was thinking.
Yeah, but that was purely because that was so much plastic in that box.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Ash Waste was huge, but they kept it around. I wonder if you can still buy that, actually, because it's the one that I've still not got around to buying.
I know I still keep seeing the rule book. I do keep seeing the rule books and the templates being sold as split lots for Ash Waste.
The box is still available.
That's actually really That's kind of impressive, to be honest, given it's
Yeah, I mean, this is what
3 years.
Yeah, but this is what I mean with Necromunda. Like the core sort of system boxes, they keep them around. The expandy additional ruly type boxes, they do them as 6 month to 12-month runs.
Right.
Because I know Dark Uprising, I grabbed one at launch because I think I got it through Darksphere on a pre-order. And then about 6 to 8 months later, I'm just like, there was a lot of decent plastic in there. I wonder if I can still. Oh, look, it's still available on Element. Click.
Huh.
It wasn't hard to pick up months down the line for a decent price either. So I have a feeling what we're probably going to see with this is it's either going to be similar to Dark Uprising, or because it's so small in terms of its contents compared to some of their other big box releases, it's probably just going to stick around.
Oh, that'd be lovely. What a great calling card for the line as it is at the moment. Quality of the sculpts.
Yeah, Necromunda's just always had this ability since it came back to surprise everyone.
Yeah,
which
and
is it's just been lovely.
So well, it has done so well.
Yeah,
like the audience for it now is phenomenal. Everybody is deeply passionate. You've still got some of the old grognards that are just like, no, I refuse to touch it, but they mostly get ignored because just look at it.
Yeah.
They've taken it in so many cool directions. They've managed to do all the stuff that we wanted them to do when we were kids. Like we used to, the Necro campaign I played with my old gaming buddies back in my 20s. We'd joke about the fact that like gangs would have like battle buses and stuff, and we'd bring out rhinos and things because we had nothing else to represent them.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do anything because we had no rules and we couldn't be bothered making anything up. But we just have ways of getting gangs to fight that would just be persistent on the battlefield because it just felt right.
And now
it's there.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, hell, they brought the squats back for it as well. And they called them squats, and they made them distinct from the Votan, and that still blows my mind.
Yeah, I am so hyped for this. Like,
absolutely.
There was a lot of good today. A very close second would have been AdMech because it's a faction that I love. I always have. I always will. I don't play them. I don't collect them. I want to do Dark Mech. I have ideas. I don't know how to implement those ideas because, But
the pieces are there now. You've got these extra bits that are gonna help you along the way.
I don't know. Like, how do you do MIUs on every mini?
Oof.
Because the whole idea I had was Slaneshi Calls of Experience, where the Archmagos, the world that they were on, specialized in building MIUs, and they built them better than most other planets. And the Archmagos kind of got a bit too into the idea of them. And every single unit in his army has an MIU, and he just sits at the back experiencing everything from their viewpoint. And obviously fell to Slash as a result. And I don't know how to display that on a tabletop because it's been bugging me for years.
Yeah.
Sorry, you know when we talked, because I've now forgotten their name again. But the flying brainy enslavers, that was it.
Yeah.
And so the classic art of the enslavers is obviously them dangling tendrils into the things that would be interesting if you had like an AdMech and then above it you had this one guy. Now obviously he's only hooked up to the one AdMech, but he could be literally floating in his own orgasmic fever dream as the mech he's connected to kind of he ends up becoming some sort of weird Slaneshi balloon above a rampaging tech.
That could work.
This is what I think about
in a transparent ball of something above the battlefield.
This is what I think about on those long, lonely nights. Gents, we probably need to wrap this up just because
this is true. We've been talking a while now, but
not because it's a bad thing, because we could talk about it for a lot longer. Just because there's so much scope for ideas, not just what they've created here, but you can tell you're both excited about the possibilities that then go on from taking these figures and using them for something else. But that's something that I think is going to be great for us to follow up on. I think on a future show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if we don't, I'm sure the chaps on the main show will be keen to.
Oh, I can't wait to hear both Andy and George's takes on this, because they're going to be very different, but they're going to be really interesting.
I mean,
Indeed.
Andy's already dropped some of his thoughts, which nobody but us three is aware of at the moment, and anybody else on Discord. But yeah, I'm quite intrigued to see what those 3 have, 2 and 3, because hopefully Adam will be around. I have to say,
fingers crossed. But yeah. So on that note, we shall wrap things up here.
Cool.
Adam, Darren, would you like to let everyone know where to find you if you're that way inclined?
Wow. Just AD8M on Instagram. AD8M White on Instagram. That'll do. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, chaps. It's been great. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we might try and do this again at some point. But on that note, have a good one.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye. And how do I stop creating? Stop.